Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Hey, very good morning. I'm Dave Adams. This is Valley Talk, and we are coming to you live from our Albany studios on this beautiful day, 19th of September. And we have a full slate of guests to talk about today. By the way, we want to give a program note to you. There is going to be a groundbreaking Thursday at 1 p.m. at Lebanon for the new Veterans Home. We're going to be there covering that event. We're going to be covering it live with audio and video on our website, KGAL.com, KGAL.com. So we'll be there as they turn the shovels full of dirt. And I've been told the ceremonial groundbreaking will be in less than an hour. And you'll be able to watch that and hear that live on our website, KGAL.com. And, of course, we'll have news bites from that later on in the day with Mark Oakoven here on KGAL Radio. On Valley Talk today, we have three items we're going to be talking about. First, in fact, on the phone line with us right now is Ben Prey. He is the spokesperson for the Oregon Department of Housing and Community Services. They're announcing a new website. They're launching a new foreclosure resources website. They've also added 26 foreclosure counselors around the state of Oregon to help with the issue of foreclosure. So we're going to be talking about just what's going on with foreclosures in Oregon and how the state and why the state brought this website online and more counselors to help out. Oregon Coast Aquarium is having something called the Jellyfish Jubilee. This is a celebration of Oregon with an elegant evening of food and wine benefiting the Oregon Coast Aquarium's animals and exhibits. And we're going to be having Libby Scott on the phone talking to us about that. And Diane Collette of Washington Federal will be in the studios talking to us today about what's going on with Washington Federal. So that's what we have lined up on Valley Talk. We are video recording the show, so later on today you will be able to see my smiling face and that of our guests on our website, KGAL.com, after the show. So you want to see what we look like when we're talking on the radio, you'll have a chance to see that. So that's what we have for you on Valley Talk. Glad you're with us today. First of all, let's talk about the foreclosure issue in the state of Oregon. Ben Prey is on the phone with us today. Ben is a spokesperson for the Oregon Department of Housing and Community Services. Ben, glad to have you with us on Valley Talk.
All right, Dave, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about this new foreclosure resources website. What's the web address? What can I expect to find there?
Sure, so it's www.oregonhomeownersupport.gov. And when you go to that website, we're hoping what you're going to find, or any homeowner will find, is easy-to-use tools to find out what resources are out there. And as of today, we're announcing that there's at least 26 new resources out there in the state, because we've got all these new foreclosure counselors across the state that can help people sort of sort out their housing situation if they need some help. So
what are these counselors going to do? What they counsel? What resources do they bring to the table? How do they help people?
Sure. Well, what they do is they sort of sit down one-on-one, and just like if you needed help doing your taxes, a lot of the housing programs now are becoming so complicated, and there's so many of them, you just need somebody who is an expert to help sort of walk you through them. So at a minimum, they can help direct you to other programs that are out there, if it's programs to help you pay your mortgage or modify your mortgage or refinance your mortgage, or they can help you say, you know what, looking at your financial situation, I think actually you may need to find a transition plan, and here are some other graceful alternatives to foreclosure. So really they're experts in their fields, and they can help kind of make sure you know what's out there for you.
What does the face of foreclosure look like, if we can call it that, here in the state of Oregon? I think all of us here in the state know somebody that's facing this currently or has faced it here in the recent past. What's going on out there?
Well, we know, Oregon was a hardest hit fund state. So a couple years ago, Oregon got money specifically because we were designated as a state that was hit hardest by foreclosure. And we know that Oregon is one of the last states to sort of come out of the recession. So right now, there's about 36,000 households in Oregon that are seriously delinquent on their mortgages or at risk of foreclosure. And also because we have a new mediation program and some recent judicial findings that are really making the face of foreclosure a moving target. Many major servicers are moving to judicial foreclosures, which is a new sort of process since the 50s in Oregon. So there's a lot of questions out there, and foreclosures are being handled in different ways, and that's why foreclosure counseling can be so helpful.
What do you mean a judicial foreclosure?
Well, in the past, for most of the last 50 or 60 years, when there's been a foreclosure, it's been handled through notices of default, right? You get a letter that says you're late, and then you're more late, and then eventually you're in foreclosure. Mm-hmm. And now many major servicers, at least for the near future, are pursuing judicial foreclosures, which means they'll handle their foreclosures through the court systems. So it's a little bit of a different side of foreclosure, and a lot of folks are learning about it kind of on the fly.
You mentioned, what was the percentage of homes that are seriously delinquent, and how do we define seriously delinquent?
I'll have to go back. This is according to new data from the Mortgage Bankers Association as of June 30th, and it says that 36,000 are seriously delinquent. My understanding is that would be at least 30 days late on their payments, but I can find out later and email you, and you can update your website.
Sounds good. Oregon Department of Housing and Community Services. Is this a fairly new department for state government, and where's the money coming from for the new website and the 26 new counselors?
Well, Oregon Housing's been around for a while, so we're not a new state agency. It's more recent that we folded in the community services aspect of it. But Oregon Housing has been handling, housing for many years. And now, since the foreclosure sort of epidemic has crossed through our state, now foreclosure prevention is becoming a bigger part of what we do as an agency. So we have hardest hit fund programs, we have foreclosure counseling, we have neighborhood stabilization and other programs that we manage here in Salem. But the money for this actually came from a settlement with the 5 largest banks in the country. And all the state's attorneys generals sort of banded together, and they won a landmark settlement. And through that settlement, $30 million came to Oregon with no strings attached. So in May, our agency, along with the Department of Justice, went before our legislature, and we were appropriated funds to hire counselors to build the website, and the Department of Justice was awarded funds to develop the mediation program.
All right. We have a couple other guests on the show today on Valley Talk, so we need to move on with the program. But we are going to have Ben come back on the 25th. That's Tuesday. That's, in fact, next Tuesday from 11 to 11:30. We're going to talk more in detail about what's going on with the pace of foreclosure. Going to talk more in detail about what's available on the website and a little bit more about this issue that's really impacted a lot of residents here in the state of Oregon. Again, Ben, what's the website address?
Oh, thanks for asking. It's www.oregonhomeownersupport.gov.
And looking forward to that conversation again next Tuesday, the 25th of September at 11 o'clock is when we'll have Ben Bray back on the show. If people want to call you or talk to somebody in the department, maybe they want to talk to a person, is there a number they can call?
Well, if they want to talk to the department, they can call 503-986-2000.
Okay. Ben, thank you for being with us on Valley Talk. Looking forward to our conversation on Tuesday.
All right. Thanks, David.
Have a good day.
Bye.
This is KGAL Valley Talk, and we are going to continue in just a moment, and we're going to talk about all things aquarium. That is Oregon Coast Aquarium. The Jellyfish Jubilee is coming up. What's that all about? We'll check it out here in just a moment as Valley Talk continues.
When you look out across Willamette Valley, you'll see plenty of banking choices. But we're here to give you an option that's pretty unique, like no other, in fact. Hi, I'm Dave Wood, President and CEO of Willamette Community Bank. We provide an alternative to large national and regional banks by offering customized financial services and local decision-making to benefit local people, local families, and local businesses. How many banks can say that? Willamette Community Bank, service like no other, we promise. Member FDIC.
Join your friends and family in the Seroptimus Walk for the Cause Run for a Life event. Funds raised help provide detection, treatment, and support services for breast cancer and other diseases affecting women. Register today as an individual walker or runner or as part of a team. Sponsored by Samaritan Cancer Program, ATI Pacific Cast Technologies, Bassard & Sons Custom Canvas Works, and Flakeboard.
This is Ryan the Lion with KGAL and KSHO. We're proud to sponsor the 2012 Seroptimus Walk for a Cause Run for a Life. Join us for a live remote broadcast from the big event, Saturday, October 6th.
Find yourself in the Old West at Kirk's Ferry Trading Post Restaurant and Bar in Brownsville. You are invited to check out their Taste of Home with a rustic Americana menu cooked by the wood fire oven. You'll find sports on a large screen and a full bar to wet your whistle, along with Alexander Kirk's 1846 cabin inside to add to the historical ambiance. Open Thursday through Sunday. Head to Brownsville and find Kirk's right there on Highway 228. Call 541-466-5614 or visit kirksferry.com.
We're kicking off the season with the best deals of the year. It's the Built Ford Tough Truck event. Time to get the most for your money with Ford F-Series. Great power and amazing fuel economy means no compromises. And that's what you get in a truck built Ford Tough. Like Ford F-150. With a powerful and efficient EcoBoost engine, you get the power you want and the economy you need. Or Ford Super Duty with its amazing 6.7-liter Power Stroke turbo diesel. Super Duty's got everything you need to get the job done, and then some. So if you're looking for power, payload, towing, and economy, your local Ford store has got the truck that's right for you. And with Built Ford Tough Truck Event deals, there's never been a better time to buy. We're talking big-time savings on a huge selection of America's best-selling trucks. If you're ready for a great deal on a new Ford F-150 or looking to get to work in a new Ford Super Duty, this is your chance to save. So don't miss the Built Ford Tough Truck Event going on now at your local Ford store.
It's time to get ready, Albany. If a natural disaster hits our area, we want you and your family to be prepared. Join us Saturday, September 29th for an event that will help you get ready. Northwest Natural will be joined by the American Red Cross, Albany Police and Fire Departments, Lynn County Medical Reserve Corps, and Community Emergency Response Team, Oregon Local Emergency Planning Communities, and Oregon Freeze Dry to give away safety items and a free lunch. The first 100 families will also receive a free Red Cross emergency kit. It's all taking place on Saturday, September 29th from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. at Eleanor Hackelman Park. Join Northwest Natural and your neighbors to get ready, Albany.
Into the woods and onto the waters. Listen to Northwestern Outdoors, Saturday nights on Smart Talk 1580.
Valley Talk continues, and a very good morning. I'm Dave Adams. Beautiful weather outside, enjoying the fall colors here in the Mid-Willamette Valley, and looking forward to ever more of the beautiful leaves as they turn as we herald the change of season. So enjoy this time of year in the Mid-Willamette Valley. One of the places I love to go in Oregon is the Oregon Coast. And on the phone with us right now is Libby Scott, Manager of Development at the Oregon Coast Aquarium. Libby, I wish I was with you today and on the Oregon Coast. What's the weather like over there?
It's a little chilly and it's a little overcast, but we're hoping that the sun will break through later on this afternoon.
I guess what they say is there's never such thing as a bad day on the Oregon Coast, right?
As long as you can look at the ocean, who can complain?
There you go. Oregon Coast Aquarium, celebrating the magnificent bounty of Oregon with something called the Jellyfish Jubilee. Now, we don't have to eat jellyfish, do we?
No jellyfish.
Oh, thank you. What's it all about?
Jellyfish Jubilee is the aquarium's largest and only fundraising event, and we're very excited this year. We're going to have some new things going on, but the money that is brought in through ticket sales helps with animal care, exhibits, and our educational programming. So it's a really important time of year for us to generate much-needed funds for the great things that we're doing here.
How many years have you done the Jubilee?
This will be our 5th Jellyfish Jubilee.
Okay, it's food and wine, and tell us kind of what we can expect.
Well, it is an all-inclusive evening, so you'll be able to have as much food and wine as you like without making any kind of additional purchases. And we're also doing some great things with our husbandry staff this year. We're going to have a live vulture presentation in our lobby. We're also going to have an opportunity to meet one of our Seal Harbor's Boots, who's the sweetest, cutest little girl ever. We're also going to have a couple of octopus encounters for our guests, and we're actually going to have the Seabird Aviary open this year and have a presentation there. They're kind of back-to-back presentations, so we're hoping that someone will pick and choose their most favorite thing that they want to do or something maybe they haven't done in the past and enjoy that while they're here. We're also going to have a cooking demonstration. We've never had that. And Fish Tracks is going to be here showing you their project on making sure that we're buying sustainable fish. Fish Tracks is actually an organization that some people who are fishing are tagging their fish. And when you buy your fish, you'll get a tag number, and you can actually go on their website, put in your tag number. It'll show you where the fish was caught, how it was caught, and it'll show you a picture of the fisherman. So we're going to have a demonstration of that, and then the fish will actually be prepared, and we'll have some recipe cards. And then one extra thing that we're doing different again this year is we're having a creme de la creme chefs competition. So the chefs are going to be doing what they do best, which is competing to be the best chef in the area.
Oh, that's very popular these days.
It is popular, and we're excited. And there's, a little good fun competition's a good thing.
Now, one of the things that you mentioned grabbed my attention, octopus encounters. What are we talking about there?
Well, we like to say that that's an opportunity for you to shake hands with an octopus. We allow people to go and visit one of the octopus. No, you don't have to crawl in the tank with them.
Okay.
But what we do is we entice the octopus to the surface with some food, and then we actually allow you to either handle the food if you are so inclined, or just put out your hand, and what happens is the octopus will attach one of its tentacles to you, and it's an incredible experience. If you just want to touch it on its head, we let you do that too, but I definitely tell people that they should just go for it.
Yeah, go right ahead. Jump in the tank.
No, not jump in the tank,
Okay.
but let it wrap its tentacles around you. It's pretty cool.
Oh, good. Have you ever done that?
I have. I've actually given an octopus a clam, and what they do with their tentacles is they smell you, taste you, and what's interesting is sometimes they latch on to other people more so than others. So I always joke that they must have eaten pancakes that morning, because the octopus never gets pancakes, and so he's probably trying to check out what what you ate that morning.
Remember the old telephone commercial, reach out and touch someone?
Yes.
Boy. So what does it feel like to have an octopus grab you?
It is. What happens is, well, first of all, when you touch them, I mean, they are definitely. I don't like to use the word slimy, but they're slimy.
They're slimy. Okay, all right.
But when they latch onto you, it's a definite suction, and so it's an interesting feeling. And then they hold on so hard that the only person who can get the octopus off your arm or your hand is one of the aquarists. So it's interesting. It's fun. Oh, come on.
Oh, sign me up for that. I want to. How big is the octopus?
It depends. I mean, if I had to hold up my hands, I don't know, maybe when they spread out 3 or 4 feet.
So it's not a puppy dog. It's pretty big.
No, but some of them, I mean, we do collect them, or we get them sometimes from fishermen who unfortunately catch them in their traps. So they vary in size, but it's not scary, I promise you.
Okay, what's the cost for Jellyfish Jubilee? It's all-inclusive, which means how much you can eat and drink. It's kind of an all-you-can-eat affair.
Right, and we're also having Pass Forward in our theater this year for dancing. So that'll be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be a great night. The tickets are $90 for our members and $100 for non-members. And again, I just want to emphasize that it is a fundraiser for the aquarium, so we can continue giving great food and vet care to our animals, continue to keep our exhibits up and running, and then provide the educational outreach programs that we do. And I do want to mention that we want to thank West Coast Bank yet again for being our presenting sponsor.
How many tickets do you have left for the Jellyfish Jubilee?
I have enough tickets left that anybody listening can buy one.
So quite a few.
Well, it's not that we don't limit the amount of tickets that we sell, because the aquarium is as large as it is. What we do is we allow people to wander, and we have vendors set up throughout the aquarium. And since we can obviously have thousands of people here in a day, again, we set up our galleries, and the food vendors, wine vendors are throughout, and you just get to wander and taste the food, and then hopefully go in the theater and dance a little bit and sign up for one of these great encounters, and just, again, have a great night.
Any dancing with the octopus?
Well, if you come and you want to dance a little bit, I'm not going to stop you.
With the octopus, okay. Who leads?
He does.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes.
So if somebody has listening and hasn't been to the Oregon Coast Aquarium here in the last, let's say, 6 months or so, anything new there?
The Sea and Me is our new changing exhibit that opened Memorial Day weekend, and that is based on kind of the children's museums that are spreading across the country right now. So it's very interactive for kids. We've got a submarine that kids can go in and push buttons and make bubbles happen and look through a periscope. And then we have a fishing boat where they can actually act as if they are fishing off of the bow of the boat. And then we have tropical fish and seahorses and sandboxes. We also have our theater, which is full of books and toys and touchy-feely things and costumes for kids to kind of have a play area. And then we even had some cleaner shrimp in the area where you can stick your hands in a tank, and those cleaner shrimps will give you a little bit of a manicure.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. One of the things that's always interesting to me is the big tank where you walk. I think that's where the killer whale used to be.
Passages of the Deep.
Yes, and you walk in this tube and you see small sharks swimming over your head. That's very interesting. It's always a crowd pleaser when I'm there.
Yes, it is. We do have some 7-gill sharks in there, which are larger than the leopard sharks, and we also have bat rays in there. And one of the things that we're doing is we've improved the amount of smaller fish in there that are in schools. And so you really do get the feeling that you are part of the ocean in the deepest parts of the water. And a lot of people ask, well, don't the shark eat the salmon and the herring and all of that? And fortunately, we do feed our sharks well enough that these smaller fish get to survive in that environment.
I've often wondered, why don't the sharks eat the smaller fish, but you feed them well enough so that they leave them alone?
Pretty much. I did witness once a leopard shark that actually bit into a fish and it broke in half.
Ooh.
And what's interesting about passages, of course, is that the sharks and the rays are swimming in a very peaceful, calm way. And as soon as this fish was beginning to get consumed, the movement in the tank got very intense. So
I'll bet it did.
It got very intense, so it was really cool. But on a whole, everybody's happy and living together in an environment where everybody is getting along.
Like some work environments we've all been involved in.
Yes.
How many people attend or visit the Oregon Coast Aquarium, say, on a yearly basis? And how was this last year? You know, if we take a look at tourism numbers in the state, how was this last summer compared with previous summers?
We get about 400,000 people annually, and with the new exhibit opening up, the Sea and Me, our numbers stayed very steady throughout the summer, and we were happy about that. Of course, this is the time of year when things slow down, and we'll pick up at Christmas and slow down, and then spring break, and then gear up again for summer. One of the things I do want to mention for sure is that our Pinniped exhibit is going under a facelift, and we're going to start demolition on it, or I mean, I don't want people to think that we're completely tearing it down, but we'll move the animals off exhibit, and then what we're going to do is open up the viewing area. We'll have a lot more glass. We're actually going to have some seating where you can feel like you're going into the exhibit. It'll be covered to keep you, if it's raining out, dry or drier. But that's going to be a huge improvement, and it will also allow people to interact a little bit more with the mammal staff. They'll be able to see you better. You'll be able to see them. You'll be able to ask questions. So that's a big project, and that'll be reopening probably early February, maybe March.
How long has the Oregon Coast Aquarium been open?
20 years. We just celebrated our 20th year.
Let's take a look at long-term vision. What do you want to do with this in the future? You've talked about a project that's underway short-term, but long-term, what's the vision?
Well, I think one of the things that we want to do is continue to maintain our integrity to show the animals that live on the Oregon coast. One of the things that we'd like to do is expand our estuary trail so you can actually tie it in with what wraps around the Hatfield, because we do have a lot of beautiful land there, and we can really emphasize the estuary. I mean, that's one of the things that we're trying to do, is to spark your curiosity and your interest in getting out once you see the animals at the aquarium, is to go out and try to find them out in the wild. With our estuary, you have great opportunities to see all kinds of bird life. The other thing is our changing exhibit is always on our mind. So even though we just opened it Memorial Day weekend, we're already in the planning stage of trying to figure out what we want to do next. So that's always something that we're striving to improve, and we want to continue to grow on the latest techniques of having a lot more interactive things you can touch, things you can spin, things you can, just like I said about the cleaner strip, things you can get yourself involved with to, again, for adults and kids, spark your interest, get you active, involved however you want in the environment or protecting animals, things like that.
I've got a note here that Charlie Eads, the owner of KGAL, is going to be a food judge.
He is.
Well, Charlie, way to go.
I roped him into that. I've never met him, but he was gracious, and I will meet him Saturday night, and we're going to judge the chefs on taste, presentation, and creative use of ingredients. So we've got 5 judges that are going to help us out, and he's one of them.
Well, great. Oregon Coast Aquarium Jellyfish Jubilee. Tell us again the date and the cost and what people can expect. And one of those things is octopus encounters.
Yes, so Jellyfish Jubilee is this Saturday, September 22nd. Doors open at 6 o'clock. The party ends at 9, but we tend to have a couple people hanging out. It is $90 for members, $100 for non-members. You can buy your tickets online at www.aquarium.org. Or if you're in the neighborhood and you want to go to admissions, you can buy your tickets there. And, of course, you can buy your tickets at the door. We don't want to turn anybody away who wants to come.
Okay. And, of course, octopus encounters. And just look for Libby. She'll be the one being gripped by the octopus, right?
No, I'll be the one running around making sure that everybody's having a good time. I might go out on the dance floor.
You're not going to be pushing people in the tank, are you?
Only if you're really, really bad.
Only if they're radio talk show hosts. Okay.
And they dance really poorly with the octopus.
Oh, that should be a show.
Yeah.
Okay, Libby, thank you, and looking forward to the Jellyfish Jubilee this Saturday at the Oregon Coast Aquarium.
All right, nice to talk to you.
Likewise. Have a good day.
You too.
This is KGAL Valley Talk, and in just a moment, we have Diane Collette. She is in the studios right now, and she's with Washington Federal, and we're going to be talking about what's going on with Washington Federal these days. Diane, thank you for being with us today. More with Valley Talk in just a moment.
The Osgood File, sponsored in part by Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit AutoOwners.com. This is Charles Osgood. Did you know that even if the government doesn't have enough against you to convict or even charge you with a drug offense, they can still take your property?
It ranges from cash to cars to houses, basically any asset that police believe was intended to be exchanged for drugs, that came from the sale of drugs, or that was alleged to have been used to produce, transport, or store drugs.
And in most cases, they get to keep it, even if they're wrong, says Washington-based freelance journalist Jonah Engel, who's been looking into this part of the war on drugs.
And I think it would actually shock many Americans to realize that government can do this.
More about it after this. In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local, independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when bad stuff happens to your car, home, or business. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people.
In Martinsville, call BB&T Insurance Services of Martinsville at 276-666-3600.
Every day, it seems, there's something new your smartphone can do. Now, it can open and close your garage door from anywhere in the world. With a LiftMaster garage door opener with MyQ technology, you can use your smartphone or computer to control your garage door from anywhere, anytime, like right now. And LiftMaster garage door openers with battery backup keep your garage door working even if the power isn't. Find a dealer near you at liftmaster.com. Go ahead, look it up on your smartphone. The way the game works, says Jonah Engel, if the government does seize your money, car, house, or other property, the clock starts running for you to file your objection with the Department of Justice.
Under federal law, you have 30 days to physically get the document into the DOJ in Virginia, so you can't fax it. It has to be at the DOJ within 30 days, or else it's too bad for you. It's too late.
So you go to a lawyer.
You know, you'd be surprised. I've spoken to law graduates who've never heard of civil assets forfeiture. It's really a specialized part of law, and many lawyers won't take these cases because it requires specialized knowledge.
If you do find a specialist.
I spoke to several asset forfeiture specialists, lawyers in California. One of them said in a federal case, they wouldn't take a case where the property was less than $50,000. Another lawyer said she wouldn't touch a case for property worth less than $100,000.
So it's pretty much heads they win, tails you lose.
If the seizure is not challenged, then the property is automatically forfeited, regardless of the merits of the case.
These days, says Engel, they're counting on this for revenue.
Absolutely, and you even have police departments that are including projected asset forfeiture revenue in their budgets, which is certainly not in the spirit of the law.
The Osgood File. This is Charles Osgood on the CBS Radio Network.
Albany Downtown Association and the Greater Albany Rotary Club present Albany's first annual Craft Brew Smackdown this Friday from 4 till 8.
Stroll through historic downtown Albany while sampling great beer from local breweries and watching demonstrations by local craftsmen. Proceeds benefit Albany's historic Carousel and the Greater Albany Rotary Club service projects. Find it all in historic downtown Albany. Great entertainment, delicious dining, and unique shopping. It's all happening in historic downtown Albany.
More than 130,000 young people in Oregon live with a mental illness. Left untreated, the consequences can be staggering. But treatment works. With treatment, more than 70% have significantly reduced symptoms and experience a higher quality of life. You can help change a life with Trillium Family Services. For more information, visit trilliumfamily.org. That's trilliumfamily.org. Trillium Family Services, building brighter futures with children and families.
Are you frustrated? Are you having a hard time understanding the court papers and procedures? Do you need your court papers served to someone? Call us for the love of service at 541-570-1494. We can help. No legal terms, only simple answers. Call now for court help and process serving. To set up an appointment for 30 minutes, only $10. We are located in the Lebanon DMV building. Call us at 541-570-1494. Let us help you get back your peace of mind.
Yahoo Sports Radio, weekends on 1580 KGAL.
Yahoo! And Yahoo! This is KGAL Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams, and the last guest of the show today is Diane Collett, and she is a customer service representative from Washington Federal. Diane, thanks for being with us on Valley Talk today.
Oh, thanks, Dave. I appreciate the opportunity.
So, exactly what is Washington Federal? Is it a credit union? Is it a bank? What are you?
Well, we originally chartered as a thrift. I don't know exactly if that's still our charter, but we do offer full-service banking services. So, we could be considered, a bank.
Okay. We talked, did you hear the first part of the show where we were talking about the foreclosure with Ben Prey?
Yeah, I am aware of, of the discussion.
Now, overview us a little bit with Washington Federal. What's going on in the foreclosure realm? There's a lot of people being impacted by it these days.
Yeah, our foreclosure, results, I think, are much less than other lenders. We tend to like to work with our borrowers directly, and in 2009 we started a program called the Mortgage Resource Center that allowed borrowers to come to us and say, hey, I've had a life-changing experience, what can we do to modify our loan? And so we've been working with that, and since then we have helped over 1,900 of our borrowers in staying in their homes and by modifying their payments and such.
When a borrower has they've had a life-changing experience, maybe usually what happens is they lost their job, maybe they've had an illness, all of a sudden the income just wasn't what it used to be. What does the bank look at when somebody comes in with this situation and their income isn't there and so they need some kind of modification? What do you look for?
Well, some of it has to do with the history of payments through the life of the loan, and some of it has to do with what is the projected income going forward. How likely is it that any modification that we would do is going to help them or not in making that decision? And, what has their payment habits been with other, trade lines and that sort of thing. So.
Okay, so credit card payments and so on and so forth. It's important to keep your debts current.
Correct, yes.
So the credit score is very important.
Right. And, it's a very personal conversation that we have with the borrower when they do make application for the modification of their loan. And through that, we like to see, okay, how has the property been maintained? Sometimes it's just a matter of, well, this person just doesn't care about this property. They're, maybe looking to get out of it. But there are very many of the borrowers who sincerely have taken very good care of their property, are very motivated to maintain, their payments.
Do you do a site visit?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay. Going forward, what does this things look like for Washington Federal as you take a look at this, the economic landscape of the state and the country? What do you guys see at Washington Federal?
Well, we feel that we are very well poised to withstand, the economic situation that we're in right now, because we really haven't changed our philosophy in that we are looking for, long range terms. Kind of to throw our catchphrase in there of being invested here, we want to get, people in the homes that they want and that they can afford, and that's not going to, put them in a situation that down the road could be detrimental to their financial health, and as well as encouraging savings and that.
What Washington Federal, do you mainly do home loans? Are you business bank, personal banking, or a combination?
Kind of a combination. The business banking side of our product line is fairly new to us, but we've become pretty much instant pros at it because we keep the same philosophy. The idea is that we accept deposits and we turn around and loan that money out to for our loans. But in the past, we strictly were that. Your typical savings and loan from It's a Wonderful Life. That's what we were.
Did Jimmy Stewart work for you?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I don't go back that far.
Lines of credit for businesses. There was a difficult time there for businesses when banks really kind of pulled that back. What's the situation like for line of credits, operating lines? Is it still pretty hard to get these days?
I don't know about the difficulty to get them. Obviously, if the financial picture is good, we can certainly do that. One of the programs that we do offer for businesses, if they wanted a line of credit, is that the collateral actually comes from the business owner's personal residence, and so that is kind of a niche that we don't find out there in the industry per se. And so it's a little bit less of a risky endeavor to do that.
So you can use the equity in their home to collateralize their line of credit.
Correct. Yes.
Is Washington Federal a Northwest institution? How big are you?
We operate in 8 western states, and that would include Texas being considered a western state. We have our headquarters are in Seattle, which is where we were founded in 1917, and then I would say the late 80s, we started branching out, merging, acquisitions, and that sort of thing. So now we are in most of the western states. We are not in California, but we've got Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, Texas. I think I've got all 8 of them there. And I think we do also have a lending office in Colorado.
What is the banking economic climate in those 8 western states compared to the rest of the country? This might be kind of out of your realm of expertise, but can you give us an overview of that?
It is a little bit out of my expertise, but I do know that there are areas that we operate in that are a little bit more distressed than others. Namely, I would say probably some of the branches in our like Phoenix, Arizona area, some in Nevada are, experiencing a little bit more distress than others. So we've done pretty well here in Oregon and Washington.
Is it the home loan portfolio here that's distressed in, like, for example, Oregon, or is it the whole gamut of banking services? In other words, are you noticing more distress in home loans, or is it business loans as well?
Well, I'm not really qualified to answer that question, first, so I won't even pretend.
All right. The portfolio, you want to talk about the portfolio of Washington Federal going forward?
Yes, well, we are a portfolio lender, and what that means is that we hold our own notes. We do not sell on the secondary market. And that's kind of a rare thing in the industry. Now, that doesn't always mean that we're going to have the best rates, and that is part of it. If a person is absolutely shopping for the lowest rate that they can possibly get, they're more than likely their loan's going to be underwritten for the eventual sale on the secondary market. The advantage to being a portfolio lender is that we can deal with our borrowers directly. Going forward, if they want to modify their rate, we have everything right there. The other is that we service our loans. So when you call to ask a question about your loan, you're talking to a real person, and you're talking to the person who knows where your loan is at.
I think one of the biggest complaints I've heard from people, one of several, but is they do a loan with the bank, and then their loan is sold to somebody and then sold to somebody else, and a year and a half from now, they're talking to 3 or 4 different bankers
Exactly.
from who they did the loan with in the first place. So you're saying that Washington Federal actually holds the notes. You make the loan and hold the note until payoff.
That's correct. We do.
Why did they decide to do that? Now, back in the day when things, were in the money and things were going well, banks, packaged the loans and sold them to the secondary market.
Right.
Why did Washington Federal opt to be more conservative? Thankfully, they did. But
Right.
do you have some insight in that?
Well, again, it goes back to our desire to actually invest in our community and to, deal directly with our clients.
Okay. Website. Let's talk about your website a little bit.
Sure. Well, I love our website. It is very user-friendly, and I'll just put the plug in there. It's WashingtonFederal.com.
Okay.
And you do not have to be a client of Washington Federal to visit it, obviously. And I do believe that there's a tutorial on there about using our online banking. And it just gives a nice rundown of Washington Federal's history and philosophy. There are employment opportunities that are listed on there. And what else did I want to say about that? You can get savings rates, any loan information that you want. We have the applications on there and documents that you would need to bring at the time you want to make application.
Okay. The pretty website. We're looking at it right now.
Oh, I love it.
WashingtonFederal.com.
Mm-hmm.
Business banking, we talked about it a little bit. What kind of services do you offer business banking?
Well, we offer all, the gamut from deposit accounts, through loan products, anything that a business would happen to need. If you need a vehicle loan or, to make capital improvements on site. Our deposit products are simplified just as our regular consumer products are. We offer savings and checking. We are not a fee-driven institution, so we try to keep those as low as possible. We're more about, making the investment into the business itself.
Okay. Diane Collett is a customer service representative with Washington Federal. She's our guest right now on Valley Talk, and we'll continue with more on the program here in just a moment.
Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, across from the Heritage Mall, has bargain prices on the brands you trust. You'll find a mountain of a variety of your favorite premium beers made in Oregon and from all over the world, now at incredibly low prices. Hurry, limited stock on hand. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Albany Grocery Outlet Bargain Market, across from the Heritage Mall, has bargain prices on the brands you trust.
The Ducks prepare for another season of offensive excitement.
Good luck trying to catch that guy. Touchdown, Anthony Thomas. Ow!
Get ready for more high-flying action in 2012.
Unbelievable.
As they aim for another run for the Roses and a national title here on the Oregon IMG Sports Network.
The Oregon Ducks on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Touchdown, Oregon.
There's a place in Albany where dreams are coming true at the historic carousel and museum. The vision is to enchant young and old alike with the finest carousel in the world. Promote the artistry of carousel building by sharing skills and talents to build our community and open the venue to events and activities. Lend your support that benefits the project by attending the art show and auction on October 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. at the museum on 1st and Washington. For more information, contact Tyson or Wendy at 541-791-3340.
The Albany Rifle and Pistol Club Gun Show this weekend at the Lynn County Fairgrounds.
Over 400 tables of guns, knives, reloading supplies, and ammo.
All tables must have 90% content gun-related items, making this the purest gun show in Oregon.
Take the entire family to the Albany Rifle and Pistol Club Gun Show this weekend, September 22nd and 23rd, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 9 to 4.
Admission is $5, good for both days. Kids 12 and under are free.
Buy an NRA membership at the door and get in free.
Don't miss the Albany Rifle and Pistol Club Gun Show this weekend at the Lynn County Fairgrounds. Be there!
Now's your chance to get in on all the hair-raising, action-packed princess fun. Disney on Ice presents Dare to Dream. Watch as Rapunzel lets down her golden hair to tangle with the dashing Flynn Rider and the hilarious Maximus. Go on a mystical adventure through the bayous of Louisiana as Tiana kisses the frog prince Naveen and gets royally jazzed. And become enchanted with Cinderella as she makes her dreams come true. Together for the first time ever, all the Disney princesses you love in a spectacular ice show. Bring your royal family to the ultimate princess event of a lifetime in your hometown. Disney on Ice presents Dare to Dream.
The magic begins at $17 for tickets. Additional fees may apply. See roseporter.com for details. Experience a spectacular Disney adventure at Disney on Ice presents Dare to Dream. Coming to the Rose Garden October 25th through 28th.
Want to really know more? Just point, click, and learn from the Mid-Valley's best website, KGAL.com.
This is Valley Talk. I'm Dave Adams. Glad you're with us today. We have Diane Collett in the studio, customer service representative of Washington Federal. Thanks for being with us on Valley Talk today.
Yeah.
Now, you're in 8 western states. We were talking during the break that there's a merger in the works. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yes. We are working to merge with South Valley Bank, which has a large presence in the southwestern, eastern part of Oregon. So basically around the Klamath Basin, that sort of area. And so while it's not yet completed, we are going through that and looking to add several branches when that goes through. So.
How many branches do you have here in the Mid-Willamette Valley?
Right now we have 28, and we go down the I-5 corridor, and then we have about 4 branches on the coast, and we go as far east as Redmond, Oregon. So, and then we have a branch in Medford, Klamath. So, yeah.
How long have you been in banking?
Well, I've been in banking pretty much my whole career, and I've been with Washington Federal here in Oregon going on 19 years.
What do you enjoy about it personally? Why do you like being a banker?
Well, what I like is the one-on-one that I can have with my client.
Are you a Jimmy Stewart type?
I think I'd like to think I am.
Job,
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart.
Yes, right.
Okay.
No, I really enjoy that contact, and you know, I would almost go as far as to say, yeah, I enjoy, making those friendships, quote unquote, and that. But that's really, for a while I held a back office position, and then I thought, I just really miss seeing the clients come in and having them talk about the things that are important to them. And so I moved back into the branch function and thoroughly enjoy that.
So you enjoy the customer service relationship?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay. So you're a customer service representative. What do you do on a daily basis?
Oh, wow. Well, I actually consider myself kind of a jack of all trades, or Jane of all trades, as it may be, simply because I have held quite a few positions and have brought that knowledge with me. And my actual title is actually customer service supervisor, so I oversee the folks that work on the teller side, but I also help with loan production as well. So I kind of come with a lot of different skills that,
what is
call on me for.
As a customer of a bank, what is our biggest mistake? What do we as a customer do that drives you crazy and you think, if I was on the radio and I had a chance to tell people, don't forget blank.
Oh, wow. I don't even know if I could answer that question. Wow.
Don't forget your checkbook. Don't forget your ID.
Yeah, there's kind of this perception, I think, with quite a few clients, and it mainly comes from non-clients, that we can pretty much do anything that they want us to do, regardless of how the check is made out or how the account reads that they want to deposit into or that. And so there is some frustration when we're coming up against, okay, well, we're just not going to be able to do this. But maybe, this would be an alternative.
If I bring a check written on a milk carton, there's a good chance you probably won't be able to cash it.
Yeah, gone are the days when we used to hear, like back when I first started a long time ago in banking, you can take anything that, if it's written on a napkin, you can, take that. That is just not the case anymore.
Did they used to take those? I think they did, didn't they?
I've never seen it done, but I did understand that as long as you had a signature and a dollar amount and it was dated, it was considered.
I don't want to mention the name of the bank, but this was over in Idaho when I was living over there. They had a campaign about that. They would take a draft written on anything, milk cartons, kids' shoes, And it was kind of comical they would do it. They probably don't do that anymore.
No.
Gotta recheck.
We're very particular now about
shoes are not legal tender.
Can it clear the rest Federal Reserve? That's
it doesn't fit in the machine that well.
Yeah, right.
Here in the Mid-Willamette Valley, so Washington Federal, where are you located in Albany?
In Albany, we're on the corner of 3rd and Ellsworth, right downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that where you work?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Okay. Is that where Jimmy works?
Jimmy's around there somewhere,
I like Jimmy
think.
Stewart.
Yeah,
okay.
All right. We went to an event last night, and there was a band there, and he was doing an excellent Jimmy Stewart impression.
Jimmy Stewart,
right.
He's just a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Wonderful Life. What are your hours?
We are open Monday through Friday, and we close at 5 Monday through Thursday, and we close at 6 on Fridays, and that's drive-up and lobby.
Okay. So if they walk in the door, can they say, I want to talk to Diane?
Absolutely. I am right in the middle of the lobby. I'm at what is called the greeter desk. We just went through a remodel in early spring, and I really come and visit us. It's a beautiful setup and a nice classic building that we have set up there. So.
If somebody's listening and they want to start a small business, now this is a kind of a challenging time, let's call it that, to start business ventures. What does the bank look at when you come in and say, I want to open a lemonade stand, or I want to open a movie theater because I like showing Wonderful Life? What do you look at when we say, I want to start a business?
Yeah, well, where we are at right now as far as business lending is we will look at businesses that have already experienced a couple of years under their belt of being in business. So then we would look to see, okay, what have your sales been like, and how are you currently leveraged. So yeah. But as far as new business goes, we're not currently entertaining small business loans as far as that goes with unknown.
So if somebody doesn't have any experience in small business, they've never owned a business, they want to, I don't know, open a widget factory, and they've never had a business before, it's probably not going to happen.
It would be very difficult. It would be a challenge. I would never discourage anybody to not apply. I would never do that, but there may be some challenges to overcome.
What about consumer banking programs that are available, checking, so on and so forth, just for consumer lenders and consumer users of the bank, checking accounts and so on and so forth? What have you got?
Well, we have 3 checking accounts. They're just very simple checking accounts. And again, we're not fee driven. A couple of our accounts do have an $8 monthly fee, which could potentially be waived under certain circumstances. And then we have our one simple checking, which has no fees at all. A couple of the other 2 accounts I mentioned before, depending upon the balance, they may actually even earn interest. And I'm not really talking about like 0.01 interest, but right now we're sitting at 0.15 on one account and 0.2 on another. Which, it really isn't great shakes when we think about historically what rates we're at, but it's not too shabby. And then our savings accounts, we have regular savings, we have a money market account, which also has check writing privileges, and we have our certificates. So just real simple products. And I will mention about our regular savings account, this is kind of old school. We still offer that in a passbook style. You can choose passbook or statement. So.
All right. Well, we're about ready to end the show here. And if Jimmy Stewart was here, he'd probably be banking at Washington Federal.
Yeah, you bet he would.
Oh, Diane, yes. Hey, thanks for being with us on Valley Talk today.
Well, thank you, Dave.
And coming up tomorrow, we have Dave Pausch and Real Estate Talk here at the Valley Talk time slot. So join us for that tomorrow. Make it a great day and enjoy the nice, beautiful colors here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. Diane, thanks for putting up with me today, and thanks for being on Valley Talk.
You bet. Thanks.
Have a good day.